All right. Shit. It's that time. God damn it. That time being, you better quit bullshitting. Time for you slow folks to enroll. Uh, Sidewalk University is really doing some good things. It begins when you sign up, and so does the new life for any of you who do sign up. My name has always, carried some kind of recognition. But sometimes my name gets the door slammed in my face. But I'm talking about, I remember one night I went to a fish market. I was going to get me some of these giant shrimp they had. It was winter, but it really wasn't cold. And I had my windows down and blasting some jazz. As I drove, I saw this bad white bitch in a little sports car. And she actually turned right and started going in the direction I was going. So I was going to play my hand. I wasn't going to, I didn't want to play hard. So I lit a joint and drove on, not really paying attention to her when she had caught up to me. Because I saw she was actually paying attention to me. So I just stopped. I stopped at the light. And when I took off, she kept riding beside me. And I looked over at her, and she had a giant smile on her face, wide as the Grand Canyon. I hardly ever go out and don't get some kind of action from some woman, not necessarily throwing herself at me, but giving me the opportunity to catch her. So I motioned for her to raise her window down. And when she did, I yelled out to her, "If you give me 15 minutes, you might find yourself at a point of no return." Now this is a wide open statement. I'm just looking for her to jump on it. She continued to smile broadly as we drove, but she didn't really say nothing. But when we got to the next light, which was red, I said, "My name is Rosebud." And before I could finish, the bitch said, "The pimp?" Now I was gonna say something slick to her, but before I could, that motherfucker burnt rubber and ran the motherfucking red light. True story. But back in the day, we used to do what we did because we believed it was the right thing to do in the game. We honestly did not give one red cent to a dancing bitch because we knew hoes would take that shit as weakness, you know, and Pimp can't handle weakness in his own armor. But check this out. I'm telling you this because you got to know where my fucking background come from. I'm talking about you have to understand where a brother's thoughts are coming from. Because if you don't understand where your thoughts are coming from, you damn sure ain't gonna understand where my thoughts are coming from. So what I'm trying to tell you is I've always been a person to recognize action. But after I got in them streets, I started realizing action do you no good if you don't jump on it. And jumping on it do you no good if you don't know how to jump on it. And if you know how to jump on it, that means you have some direction you want this conversation to go in. Now, when you know all of this is in your head. What you say next determines how we gonna proceed with what's in my head. That's why you have to understand conversation is very important. Conversation is the tool that you need if you want to get this woman to fuck with you. You could think you handsome, but you ain't so handsome that you're just gonna make a broad fuck with you. If you handsome and you have any kind of conversation, she gonna fuck with you. But what I'm trying to get you to understand, you guys don't have a perspective. All the things we did to keep women in line have been abandoned today. You know, women gonna do what they can do. But if you in a certain fraternity and they know this fraternity ain't having none of it, then you won't be exposed to the bullshit because motherfuckers that want to have some bullshit ain't gonna fuck with you. They just ain't. We had different ways that we knew how to be or act because we didn't want to be disrespected by no women. Back then, women really would not dare disrespect a parent. Now, fast forward to today, and I'm honestly asking this question: is it important for a woman to see her man as a man as it was in my day? I'm asking this question because in the course of me kicking it, I heard I'm just minding my own business, but I overheard a nigga say to a broad that he was about to pimp. And she told him to come down to the club and make it rain. And the nigga didn't get upset. Now, if you answer the question, is it important to be seen as a man by these women? Let me know. How come you motherfuckers ain't calling in? You know you can call in and say some of this shit y'all putting in the chat. I read it, but I don't comment on it because if you ain't brave enough to say it, why should I comment on it? What I'm saying is, I wrote this shit, but something told me to post it. This was back, I'm remembering shit now. I just don't believe there's a woman alive that can stand it when I get serious. Most times I don't get serious because, playing my hand is about being loose and free. But here's a serious spiel, and I don't care what nan one of you women say. Caller, what's up? Caller, what's happening?
What's happening, bud? This is Dylan Alexander.
Dylan, what's happening?
Hey, man, just kicking and making shit happen.
You making it happen?
Absolutely. How about yourself?
Man, everything is good, man. My health ain't that good. That's why I don't be doing too many videos. But I'm even beating that shit. So everything is really looking up, man. What's up?
Oh, that's good, man. I'm glad to see you on the video, man. I just seen you ask the question, so I had to call in. Could you repeat the question one more time?
Man, which question? I didn't ask a bunch of questions. Oh,
I
you
think
talking
you
about the
said
one us about is it important for a woman to see you as a man?
right. That was it. So I'm saying yes, it's always important for a woman to see you as a man. Unfortunately, today it seems like that's not the case. But like you said, that never goes out of style, no matter what the circumstances are today. So yes, it is important.
Hey, that's on point, bro, because it is absolutely important. You got anything else to add to that?
I would just say I think it's our duty as men to bring that back in style, and we have to. It's our standard. It's the way we value ourselves. I think women see us. We don't take that as serious as you guys might have taken it back in the day, and so therefore women don't take us as serious. And I mean, I can't blame them because look at how we acting and behaving nowadays. So
Hey, let me
I
tell
think
you,
it's
Dylan. Back in the what made it so important back in the day was the closer it was to being looked at as niggas or slaves. The more since you wasn't a slave no more, the more it was important for you to be seen as a man. Now, when them Peckerwoods start saying some nigga shit to you, you know, you wasn't having it. Period. No matter how indirect it was. But and women seeing you as men. But after a while, later on in the 1900s, after these goddamn women lived and all that bullshit, see, women stopped seeing you as men. And nowadays, when a woman talks to you, it's like a Peckerwood, trying to rank you as a nigga. And that's how these bitches be acting, and that's how we be accepting it. But the thing is, you guys never went through Peckerwoods actually trying to treat you like you were subhuman. You never had to defend that. You heard of it, but you never lived through it. So you didn't develop that automatic, you ain't fucking with me or you ain't disrespecting me mentality. You understand what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah, we're definitely so far removed from that we just let so much slide nowadays. And I see it for myself. But, I try to do my best as a man myself and just try to keep those principles alive because, I mean, that's the only way we're going to keep it how
Dylan,
we want it to
Dylan,
be.
that's all you can do. Cause
Yeah.
you only responsible for yourself. And I'm talking about when people fucking with you and talking to you, of course you're gonna spit high powered game. But as far as taking the responsibility of this nigga over here, no, don't do that. You always inform them, but you can't be responsible for these weak motherfuckers today, man, because they're gonna leave you out to dry.
Man, that's real talk, especially in the big cities, man. You can't tell the younger cats, how it is. It's more so I feel like you got to let them come to you, which is why I like the internet. This internet, man, is powerful because it's like the ones that really want it, they going to find you, just like how I found you and other cats as well. So all you can do is get on this online and people going to come to you over time and the real ones going to flock and then the other ones going to, be cast away.
Now listen to what you said and add this to it. Think about this. What you said, that's how people think today. The internet, but the internet is convenience. If you need convenience to get this game, you don't want it because there's nothing convenient about it. Even if you learned everything that the internet had to tell you, you still wouldn't know shit until you got out there. Once you got out there, you might start remembering some of that internet shit, but then you might lose your life because you got to remember. See,
Hey,
you
no,
go.
that's real talk right there. Yeah, it is convenience. Yeah, you're
Hey,
right.
it's no convenience in this game. That's why you got to really be about it if you're talking about it, because there's too many things you can't do if you really about this game. You can't let a broad say something to you and you don't get at her. You can't let a broad disrespect you. I mean, you can't do that shit because if you do, there's a defect in your armor, and the next motherfucker gonna find it. That's why you want your armor superior. Ain't nothing you gonna say gonna get me off what I'm talking about, and you ain't fucking with me if you ain't talking about what I'm talking about. That is your attitude. That was how you thought, and if the bitch wasn't fucking with you, you didn't lose shit. That's you just thought
Man,
that. See, you guys think you lose when you talk to a broad and she don't fuck with you. Nah, the bitch missed out. She the one ain't getting this game. She the one ain't getting laced. She the one ain't getting taught how to be real with what she say. You know, she the one thinks she can say anything to a nigga, and the nigga don't bust her in her head. But we didn't
man,
bust.
that's
Go ahead.
no, that's the realest stuff. I find myself getting turned off by a lot of these women so much that I know that they losing if they ain't messing with me. Cause I'm just like, okay, she clearly don't got two eyes to see clearly. So hey, I'm gonna just keep it rolling.
Hey, Dylan, she got two eyes, but she blind in one of them and she can't see out the other one.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's some good shit, man. Stay up.
You too. Appreciate you.
All right. Hey, you guys, but like I'm saying, the thing about this life is you got to be real. What's up, caller?
Oh, what's up, bud? This is Robert. I had the question of, man, do you know, can you tell me what chicken shit is?
Chicken shit, yeah, chicken shit. You guys really don't understand that. I done got to ask this question a lot of times. Chicken shit means non-caring. You know, whatever. Otherwise, if hey man, could you do this for me? Fuck no. That's being chicken shit. If the bitch say, can I sit down? No, bitch. You ain't got to say bitch, but I'm saying you being chicken shit. You know, chicken shit means you don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about what somebody talking about, what's happening, you know, what's going on in the world. So you gotta be chicken shit, man, or else you're gonna get used.
Yeah,
You understand what I'm saying?
yeah,
You gotta be able to be chicken shit. Otherwise, you walking down the street and some bum come up to you asking you, can you borrow? I mean, can they get 50 cent or 25 cent or whatever? I'm the kind of motherfucker, if I want to, I'll get that motherfucker $2 or $3 or whatever I got to give him. But I am also the kind of motherfucker, man, get your motherfucking ass away from me. I'm that motherfucker too. So what I'm saying is it just depends on how I feel or what's going on. If I'm finna be chicken shit, motherfucking bum, you bum ass motherfucker. I say some shit like that, but I also would say, yeah, man, you know, I reach in my pocket and whatever I pull out, I might give it to him. It all depends on how the fuck I feel as far as that day.
yeah,
Is that what you need?
yeah. That's what I can use that. Yeah.
All right, bro. Be cool.
Can I ask one more question?
Yeah,
Yeah. Can you tell me what being real is with women? What is the real that they're looking for? Being real.
man. Think about it, man. Do you know what the word real means?
Something like maybe possibly a fact.
I'm not asking you, do you know what the slick interpretation of the word real? I'm asking you, do you know what the word real means?
Um, being yourself.
See, you talking about some interpretation. Real ain't got nothing to do with being yourself. Real means something's authentic. Something is not fake. It is no pretending in when it's real. And
Yeah.
that's what they mean when they talking to you and they say, man, be real, because they can hear what you saying got some phoniness to it.
Uh huh. Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where you from?
I'm from New Mexico.
New Mexico?
Yeah.
All right, bro. I just was wondering because if you don't know what real is, you got a lot to learn.
Got an idea, but I'm learning your stuff, and I hear that word, so trying to think more about it, learn more about it.
Hey,
I think I
bro,
got it so
bro,
far.
bro. Listen, when you hearing slick shit, you got to understand English is the only language where one word can mean 1,000 things. It just depends on how it's used. So what you have to understand is the language. Real means what real means. Real does not mean what you think I'm saying when I say, man, be real with me. If you hear that and you deal with what the word real means, you don't necessarily have the exact understanding of what the fuck this motherfucker is talking about, but you have a better understanding because by him using that word, he got to be talking about some authenticity in whatever you guys are talking about. You feel me?
Yeah,
All right, bro, we good?
yeah, man. I'm doing your course, man. I'm really getting in and liking it. So shout out to your course, man. Good shit, man.
All right, bro, man, thanks.
All right, man.
Hey, let me tell you guys, anytime. Hey, dude, as a matter of fact, you got off, and before I can say this to you, you need to be on that doggone Zoom call Mondays and Thursdays. Monday at 12 o'clock my time, Pacific Standard, and Thursday at 2 o'clock my time, Pacific Standard. You need to be on it, man, so we can talk about shit. But what I'm saying, you guys, is that's what happens when you fucking get my course. You get it, and since you're learning it on your own, you know what you think is what's important, not what I'm saying. What I'm saying, it's important to get you thinking, but then what you think is what's important. And we need to talk about what you fucking think. That's what these calls are for. So we can explain how deep or how little you dug into what you think. Nobody investigates what they think. They just think it. I investigate what I think. Why the fuck I'm thinking it. And what is the benefit or the non-benefit to me. That's how I think. Period. So, what I'm saying is, like I say, or was saying, I get serious sometimes. And I put emphasis on what I'm saying. In each fresh opportunity that presents itself, I'm gonna put my doggone bed in, my bed in. And if don't nothing develop, it ain't gonna phase me. Why? Because that kind of shit happens. And it's really no big deal. You guys act like you don't understand. Just because you open your fucking mouth does not mean that bitch gonna respond. It just, and if she do respond, she ain't gotta respond like you want her to. If you don't know how to manipulate your voice and the words you're saying out your mouth to put her in the mood to answer the way you want her to answer, then you ain't no fucking, you might not get that answer you're looking for. You might just get an answer. I don't want an answer. I want the answer I'm looking for. So I be knowing it ain't me that the bitch rejected. It's her inexperience about life. See, it's this environment that you guys are in. Nothing is real. Everything means whatever you want it to mean. That's why everybody's scared to guess what shit means. See, that shit ain't my flavor. Because these fucking women, be acting as if the real motherfucker, the real man ain't here. That's because they're like low class motherfuckers. They can't recognize shit from sugar. So how are you gonna think they gonna be able to see you, the real you, if you don't know how to express yourself? So when shit was like that, I'm in the streets, and I'm probably on the low end too. I just say I'm going upscale. I'm rolling the Rolls Royce. I'm jeweled up. I'm dressed pimps down, and I ain't getting no action. Goddamn, this shit ain't supposed to happen. So it's on me if I stay in that environment. It's on me. But I ain't staying in that environment. There's so much shit I know to think now. It's fucking crazy. I know to see, in quotes, see my way out of stupid shit. I'll handle it, or it's gonna handle me. So what I do is I change environments. I went upscale this particular night I'm thinking about. I went upscale to a little joint I know named Dino's. It was in Beverly Hills, and I sitting in a motherfucking booth. Now this is upscale motherfuckers. Dean Martin, all them kind of motherfuckers be in there, but they wasn't in there then. But that matter of fact, Dean Martin, I think, was part owner of that shit because that's why it was named Dino's. But any motherfucking way, the waitress come up to me with a smile. She asked, "What do you have?" I thought about it a second, and I said, "Oh, motherfucking shit." And this bitch asked me, "What the hell will I have?" So I decided to show her ass what I would have in this swank ass place. Now, you got to understand, this is why you got to know what a nigga is thinking. This is why you got to know what you're thinking. You can't say what you really want to say if your thoughts aren't clear. So I said to myself, yeah, this is why I came upscale. These bitches make you think. Yeah. Anyway, just that quick, I came up with a way to make her see me as a motherfucker who was the most different dude she ever seen. And I know she didn't seen it all up in here. So I'm telling you, just that quick, I got busy and I smiled and said, I think I'll have you in every way possible, but not shaken, not stirred. She looked at me, and for a moment, she didn't say anything. But me being a mind reader, I said, I know, young lady, you thought you had heard it all. Silly you. That's just how young you are. Live a little while and enjoy the things I have, and you'll learn what you think is what you're about to learn. That is, if you investigate me. You down? She said, I don't get off the two. Who are you? She asked, astonished at my skilled spiel. And I just kept going. Why, young lady, do you not realize I am your deepest fantasy materialized in the form you deem most pleasing for you visually and most stimulating for you mentally? Young lady, allow me to introduce myself. Meet your desires. I reached and shook her hand, and I damn near had to remind that motherfucker that she was supposed to get my drink. That woman did not stand a chance with me because I drive a diesel truck with no lights. And what make that so dope is I drive exclusively at night in the dark when there's very few stars. I'm a real motherfucker and I show it. I have always had a flawless conversation, and when a woman actually gets wrapped up in how I deliver my words, as this woman was, I'm having her. That's all it is to it. This is because I know how to use my persona to my advantage. You guys don't want to learn about yourself. You just want to know how to catch. How to catch is first learning who the fuck you are so you use you to your best advantage. Male Confidence 2.0 Down and Dirty will show you this shit. 2.0 is going over big, and I've only just begun to pump it. I have people who've been with me since the very beginning of my quest to bring this realism to you men out there. And this is, and I must say I am bragging when I say this. This is something from my very first alumni who to this day will not be denied being first to get whatever the hell I'm putting out. This is because he believed in what I do. I asked for his thoughts on 2.0, and this is his response. But I'm going to pick it up again, but I seriously have to put that shit down. In 5 minutes yesterday, I made a notebook entitled it Positive Notes, and it already has 6 positive experiences I remembered about the day that happened with women. I never recounted the plus experiences I had in one day. This shit is priceless. I'll get back to you. Best ever. Can't believe it. It's this good. See, I feel my alumni and I direct my course towards what works as far as showing them how I deliver the message to them. Now, this alumni, above all else, is feeling how it feels to kick it with a peer, me. And I took, this is my opinion. I think he's seriously enjoying being able to understand what me and him are speaking about, especially when it comes to shit that's in this course. See, I believe he sees so much of what we have discussed going on in this everyday life that he's astonished that I can still come up with more new shit. Everybody wants to have it, but few will work to get it. White people don't ask what is soul anymore. You want to know why? Because they defined it. If you let a white person define anything, they will steal it. In the 60s, all white people wanted to know what the hell was soul. And every time we tried to explain it, it's just what make us who we are. They couldn't fathom it. They never understood what soul was until musically the musicians explained why they played so different. Soul is our movement on the second and fourth beat of music, whereas white people move on the first and the third beat. This is why in the old days you can see extreme differences in how white and black people dance. Once white people identified what soul was, they began to steal it. The very first thing they did was invent blue-eyed soul. That's white boys singing on the second and the fourth beat. Then they invented disco music. That's electric music, all played on the second and the fourth beat, emphasized. Disco music puts emphasis on the second and fourth beat, and it sound like soul music, or it felt a little like soul music, but it really didn't sound like soul music. And what I'm saying is, as disco was pumping, Blue Eyed Soul was coming on strong. See, the white people at this point started trying to dance and move. That's why American Bandstand and Soul Train, when they first came on, and you looked at the hit song that white people and black people listened to, and you just looked at both channels, they was dancing so different. It's crazy. White people look like they was just way off. Why? Because they wasn't moving rhythmically. So when white people started using black backup singers and some black musicians, the whole music scene changed. Now you might not know this, but the Beatles, white boys from England, Shit, them motherfuckers got all that shit from James Brown and all the soul music. That's what they thought they was playing soul music. But now white people had their foot in the door and the robbery was in full force. Today there is no soul music. There is no category for black people in music. White people have stolen blues, soul, in just about every category in music there is, and black people have slowly been taken by the fake ass music the singers perform these days into believing uh, uh what was it? Justin Timberlake singing soul. Well, you motherfuckers, see, that's so black people don't have shit. We have nothing of our own that's really black based. Even soul singers are now fake. Real black singers don't get into songs like we used to. We used to be so into the song that our body and mind would take over, and the words and the music would hum along. Today, even black singers try with quotes, try to sound like they have soul. It'll always be white people who have to try to have soul. But black people should have it automatically. But we don't anymore. It's being bred out of us. White people even have you and me trying to have soul. Now, do you want to tell me white people are not slick? My confidence library is immense. I have over 1,000 articles that I've written on the idea of confidence. I have around 350 and 400 videos I've done, around 90 or 100 guest appearances for radio shows. And I keep all that shit to remind me how much work I have to do. I look at all that goddamn effort and tell myself, well, you still got about twice as much work to do. Every kind of worry and every kind of hope I've experienced, and I'm not done yet. I'm going to be so blessed to see the greatest experience of all, and it'll be the day when all the motherfucking men on my show will be able to call in and say some shit. I have to cut the show off so many motherfuckers want to call me in and talk. That's because I'm going to show you how sturdy your fucking nutsack is. We all be standing. Well, we will all be standing full weight on our nuts because I stand on mine. I live for the day all of us are real men. Man, what kind of conversation will that be? It's in my walk because I got it. It's in the way I smile because now I got it. It's in the way words come out of my mouth because I got it. It's in the way I greet people because I got it. It's in everything I do. The way I eat, the way I sleep, the way I dream is all about I got it. It's because of how I feel about having it. Just this confidence. I told you many years ago, once I start, I'll be showing you things about confidence and being it for the next 10 years, and it's already been 20. I'm telling you, confidence is not something you can hear about and learn it in a year or two of study. The confidence you gain from fucking with my course will not be the same confidence you have after you finish with the whole thing. The initial confidence you get is going to be because you're learning about it. But by the time you finish the course, it's going to be you really know it. Shit, it'll be the same confidence in words, but your knowledge of life and manhood will have grown to such an extent that the way you interpret or, or take in information will have changed. There's also those changes that really going to promote your growth. So don't be afraid of all the different knowledge you're about to learn. Just be glad you can learn it. Prepare yourself for the capstone in what we do. I'm just saying, we're perfect. just as I promised. Now, yesterday, not yesterday, but the last show I was doing, I was speaking about my lifelong friends. Now, today I think it's only proper to speak on all you young motherfuckers that be gracing my shit. I have spoken to many of these young brothers, and some young ladies, and most of them have legitimate problems that need to be dealt with. They ask my opinion. In all the cases, of course, I had suggestions to enhance their abilities to deal with the situation. One young man in particular had a problem with approaching or speaking with women, and I thought this is right up my alley. I shot my confidence bill to him, and he thanked me. I really didn't think he was going to do what I suggested, but he did. Later, I received a message from him, and he told me that what I told him helped him to be more confident in thinking he could speak with women. But it didn't actually stop him from having a complex about the problem he had with theirs. He explained he had mental issues and was coming off a 10-year depression. His depression stemmed from a failed relationship that he felt should not have failed. And he blamed himself because he was caught cheating on this woman of 4 years. In reality, he didn't get caught. This woman asked him if he was seeing anyone on the side, and he answered truthfully. I told him my true feelings on the matter. I told him that if it was me and I did something like that, unless my woman caught me in the bed with my dick inside this woman, I would not have admitted it to her. I know most of you think differently on this, but my position is this: if I cheat, that's a big if. But if I did, I would be the one who would have to suffer the consequences, whatever they would be. Under no circumstances would I bring my woman into that and crush her trust and belief in me. I seriously don't feel coming clean in that situation is the best thing to do. There would be irreparable damage caused by this confession, and the hurt I would put on my woman would devastate her. I told him he should forget his past woman because she ain't gonna forgive him for cheating. And more than that, she wasn't gonna forgive him for telling the truth to her. Most people believe telling the truth in any matter is the best option, but I say if the truth will destroy my relationship, I ain't telling it. My best option would be to thank God I got away with it and never do it again. None of us should cheat, but if you do and it's killing you, that's what the fuck you get to cheat. Die your death alone and do not bring your faithful woman or man down with you. It only serves one purpose when you do confess something of this nature, and that is it destroys your relationship. I don't know any woman or man who would accept a spouse cheating. I know hundreds, if not thousands, of friends who are with their mates over 30 years, and one of them had an affair 25 or 30 years ago. I'm not condoning cheating. I'm supporting lasting relationships. People make mistakes and they can be corrected, but once you lose the respect and trust of your mate, you will be one lucky motherfucker if you get it back. The best thing to do is not cheat. Stay true to who is true to you. Now, you see all this shit I talked about? It's just a bunch of shit that be piled up on me that I end up spilling about when I do these videos. But you ain't really missing shit. You're just getting a lot of shit at once. So I'm telling you guys, if you fucking want to grow, get with Think If It sidewalku dot thinkific.com. There's all sorts of levels to enter the program on. So there is one that you can afford. So do yourself a favor and get busy. I'm out.